Alright, jumping into Final Fantasy 12. So actually last left off, going through Archades, old Archades. Now we're kind of in the information gathering section of the game. Have Balthier leave our party once again. I'm hoping this goes well. To be honest, I was about 10 minutes in and then my computer crashed. So I'm worried that it's going to do that again. But let's jump through. I'm an elderly friend, a court musician by trade. To hear him play the lute, you would think it sang. Yet of late, his fingers fail him. He said he wanted to hear a song he used to play, so I seek a lutenist to play it for him. Yet they seem a rare breed these days. Alright, so lutenist is over here. I'm going to actually just leave, though. I want to see if it crashes the computer. Again. Oh, it doesn't crash it, but it does make me forget the committed thing. So I guess everyone is in the same area. That's good to know. I was born of Empire, raised by Empire, and within her walls did I grow old. Yet this city was not always grand, nor the Empire always prosperous. Youths today, they known only of her glory and nothing of her history. How little they think on the sacrifices of the past. It troubles me. So there should be a historian over here. Oh, that's a lutenist. My bad. We live in an empire, but 'twas not always so. How did it come to be? Military might? Wise rule? No, it must take more than these things. How can we hope to carry Empire's glory into the future if we know not her past? Yet our academies teach us little of her true history. What's that? You have an acquaintance who knows much of history. How long I've sought for this. Thank you, good sir. Thank you. Please accept this chop for the glory of the Empire. I've worked so hard and so long, all for money, and indeed, I've accumulated some wealth, yet I've realized I want neither money nor power. Both I've had, and neither satisfied me. I found out what I wanted when I met her, a client's daughter. The moment I saw her, I knew. That's fair. Let's go over here. Yeah, I know because I already talked to these people in the last video, and then I did it in the video that crashed, so I'm pretty familiar with where we're going here. I'm having trouble putting a man I met, a business associate of my father, from my mind. He was so dashing, so mysterious. Of course, I'm certain a gentleman of his means would be a fiancé at the very least. Of course he would. What? He said that about me? For true? Is he sure? Perhaps he meant another. If it is truly me he asks after, I certainly accept. I do believe I'm overjoyed. Look, it's not much, but I've been saving this chop for a special occasion, and well, take it. It's yours. Oh. Oops. The population of this great city continues to soar, and buildings sprout like toadstools after the rain in this unruly garden of Archades. My consortium, too, is in the business of building, yet frankly, popular design gives me indigestion. Oh, for a man who is both architect and artisan. That man should be this man. How many years have I trained, and still they mock my designs. Tradition, tradition, fie. What good building aught that is already built? One who understands that art and architecture need not be opposed to one another. Good tidings. Good tidings these. I feel a design coming on. Yes, a masterpiece. Ah boy, in my business, it is customary to thank those who find us work. A chop for your trouble. So we can now ride the cab. There are those who make crafts and sell them. We're going to keep on going though. There are those who make crafts and sell them at market. I make not crafts but music. By my lute's soothing voice do I earn my daily bread. There was a time when I did quite well by it too. Sadly, people nowadays seem to enjoy cacophonous marches. Few have an ear for the lute's quiet song. I think she does. I've an elderly friend, a court musician by trade. To hear him play the lute, you would think it sang, yet of late his fingers fail him. He said he wanted to hear a song he used to play, so I seek a lutenist to play it for him, yet they seem a rare breed these days. Someone seeks a lutenist? You're sure? How long I've waited. I would love nothing more than to play to an appreciative listener. I thank you for this, good sir. Here, a chop bearing the mark of the lute. It is yours. Yeah, I forget what we get, but I think it makes sense to get everything. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, dear, dear. I asked my daughter to buy tickets to the farce, but I've asked her to buy one too few. What to do? I'm to entertain a most important client. Oh my, oh my, oh my, my, my. I was asked by my mother to buy tickets to the farce, yet I bought one too many. Oh, my mother despises waste. I shall be punished for sure. Oh? She needed one more ticket for the farce. Then Lady Luck has smiled upon me. This is better than any amusement. A chop for your trouble. That might be... Is that everyone? No, it's not. Because there's also the money gentleman. Money is like to a seed. Do you not agree? Keep it locked away. It is as something dead. Yet use it poorly and it will never live. There must be someone with use for my money, for I would have it live. If I could but find the hands to tend it, I would gladly share its fruit. It's been 5 years since I finally quit my lodgings in old Archades, yet still I lack the gil to open a boutique of my own. A lady wishing to open a boutique, you say? This bears further inquiry. I would meet with her. Who knows where our discussion might lead? Such meetings are fertile soil for enterprise. Here, a chop for your aid. Nice. I think that's everyone here. You can also talk to the folks again, and you kind of learn a little bit more. Money is as nothing unless you use it. My advice to the shopkeeper who shall have the use of mine, make of it what you will. I don't suppose all youths are ignorant wastrels, and the young Lord Larsa shows much potential. I believe I see a light in our empire's future. This is a good one if I remember right. Oh yeah, this is... Oh, not this one. Oh no, this is it, yeah. I've just made reservations to see the Mummers of Tantalus perform. You know of them surely. Quite popular these days. Hard to find tickets. It's a Final Fantasy IX reference right there. To think... An evening with him. I think it's Final Fantasy IX. I wonder what it is that he fancies. The theater, perhaps? This fluttering in my breast. Could this be love? How pleased I am to find genius does yet exist in this world. I asked a nameless architect to design for me. He has created a masterpiece. It's good. Nothing soothes the spirit like the dulcet song of the lute. I thought little of it myself till I heard a master, a court musician play, and then I knew. Money and influence left me wanting, but she filled me from the moment we met. Still, I've never been one for dallying. Frankly, I'm not sure what to do. Perhaps take her to the theater? Yes, that's just the thing. I want to learn history's truth, not just what I'm told. It's important to know whence we come to know where we go. But there's so much to learn. Yes, yes. No. Fine. I'm working on a new design, you see. Now were I to move the Couture to the Sapta, making an Ika, then the Nava. Perfect. I'm not sure about this area. I didn't really cover this area too much. So we'll find out together. It will soon be my wedding anniversary. Whatever shall I give my dearest? That reminds me, found the oddest thing. A fine necklace at the back of the wardrobe. If only I could remember when I bought it. But no matter. I've sold the thing now. We live well enough, but it's hard to save. I need the gil to buy my dearest what he deserves. I do so enjoy traveling, seeing the flora and fauna of faraway places, save for those flora and fauna with fangs. Perhaps some armor is in order? Or so I thought, but did you know heavy armor leaves stripes and sores on the one? And lumbering laden in metal does not a pleasant holiday make. I guess it's impossible to know until I talk to him. My anniversary's coming up, see? Haven't got a lot of gil, but I still bought the missus something special. Can you guess what it is? A necklace. Of course it's well hidden. I'm not stupid. I put it well back in the wardrobe, where she's sure not to find it. Just between you and me, right? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so we can... Yeah. It will soon be my wedding anniversary. Whatever shall I give my dearest? Yeah. What? He bought that necklace for me? As my anniversary present? Oh dear. Whatever shall I do? First things first. I'll have your silence on this. Not a peep to him. Not even a meaningful glance. I'll pay you not to speak. Are we agreed? Did I just blackmail her? Is that what I did? Feels like I blackmailed someone. Did you see the mummer? Did you? I truly despise his kind. Who would want to watch such rubbish? Can he possibly hope to glean enough gil by his prancing to survive or to raise a family? For all those years of training to end up impoverished. I know this doesn't matter, but I'm always curious what she says. This means what to me? Can you not tell by the quivering of my brow that I am in an advanced state of agitation and not to be trifled with? Okay, lady. My beau and I have been working together of late. We've got quite a stack of chops to show for our trouble, too. A full 8 and 20 of them. Must tell him the good news. Seen a swindler about? Not that you'd know if you did. He's a master of disguise. Why, he dressed like me and walked off with my earnings. If I don't find him quick, I'm ruined. Finished. End of story. I can't go back to scratching for gil in the old town. How'd he imitate me so well? A tutor by trade am I, yet of late unemployed, while my pupils transferred to Bejerba, leaving me to seek out a new charge. It's grown harder in recent years to pass the examinations, yet I have utmost confidence in my ability to prepare any student. I do so hate to boast, but my Reginald is quite the brightest child. I blush to confess that he has his mother's wit. Imagine my surprise when my dear Reginald's tutor decided to abandon us without saying a word. Quite irresponsible, quite. Yeah, because we just talked to him. They're literally like 5 feet away from each other. I can't believe they didn't talk already. A tutor by trade I am. Okay, yeah, I know. Straight to the point. Leave it to me, good sir. A child under my care is a future academic. Here, a chop in payment for your kind word. From my understanding, is if I leave an area, I lose the ability to trade shops. So I don't think I go into a shop or anything. I wouldn't think so. My husband was a judge, a fine one at that, filled with righteousness and justice. Our house is pride, the pride too of our borough. It was his very own sense of justice that brought his end, to die attempting to save a child's life, and the child of a foeman no less. How like him. I guess this is one of the bigger areas. Here in the capital, if you take pride in your work and do right by your customers, anyone can make a decent living. Now your regular chops are made of pine, but the nobles use chops of sandal. Sweet smelling things, those. My girlfriend and I will get them someday. Seen a swindler about? Not that you'd know if you had. He's a master of disguise. Why, he dressed like me and walked off with my earnings. I don't find him quick, I'm ruined. Finished. End of story. I can't go back to scratching for Gil in the old town. How'd he imitate me so well? Yeah, he's just saying the same thing. Are you utterly daft? One who's looking for the swindler is the swindler. Don't you see? 'Tis the oldest trick in the grimoire, my boy. What's that? He's still nearby. Good. Time to put an end to this once and for all. Don't worry, you'll have my gratitude and a bit in your pocket. Oops. Eventually I'll do the traveler conversation. Nope, he's not the guy. Oh, no. Oh man, I already talked to this guy. How embarrassing. I am Chancellor at the Academy of Magic. Sadly, there is little need for our art in this age of ready convenience. Applicant numbers are down. Indeed, the Academy itself may be to blame for placing profit above the pursuit of quality and instruction. Not quality, what have we, I ask? That's fair. Travel. Oh, wait, this is it, I think. Travel. My work has taken me far and wide. Why, I'm on the road for 6 months a year. Danger, near misses, daily affairs. Of course I take care to wear the proper protectives, and my sword arm is good enough to hold off your average fell beast. A woman traveler concerned about armor, you say? Certainly heavy armor is just that, heavy, but I worry more about beasts than bruises. Me, I find my greatest foe on the road is solitude. You say this lady you spoke to enjoys traveling? Perhaps you might arrange a meeting. Why, if I could find someone of the feminine persuasion to share my travels, that'd solve all my woes, and perhaps I could solve hers. Did you see the mummer at his act? Oh, it was truly splendid. It made me feel the spring maiden again. How I would love to show my daughter. Yeah, so this, I don't think we talked to the mummer. I think we talked to the girl that was like, gross, there's a mummer. Where's the mummer lady? Huh. I feel like she should be close. Yeah, there it is. Did you see the mummer? Did you? Sure, we despise his kind. Who would want to watch such rubbish? Can he possibly hope to glean enough gil by his prancing to survive or to raise a family? After all those years of training, to end up impoverished. I told you I detest the mummers. I'd sooner watch the mating dance of the malt. What? My mother was weeping? Reminiscing, no doubt? My father was a mummer, you see. He could never earn enough to put food on our table, try as he might. Eventually it broke him. He fell ill. To buy a salve he borrowed, and so he worked, though he was sick, and made little, and how can not hope to repay aught. One day a lord came calling, a man of means he was, and he offered to take my father's debt on as his own, provided my father left his wife. Then the lord turned and proposed marriage to my mother, for she was a rare beauty in her day. My father told her she should go with him. So was I torn too from my father. How I wept. I never saw him again, nor can I say where he is. I heard rumor he had moved far away, that is all. If he had not been so drunk with the mummer's life, it never would have come to that. So you see I have reason to hate the prancing fools. And now I've spoken over much. My apologies. Though tale told, I feel better. Please, take this chop for being so kind as to listen. You know, I'm oft told I have a knack for magics. Of course, I've little coin to buy such things. I should be handling magics, not turnips. I am Chancellor at the Academy of Magic. Sadly, there is little need for our art in this age of ready convenience. Applicant numbers are down. Indeed, the Academy itself may be to blame for placing profit above the pursuit of quality in instruction. Not quality, what have we, I ask? A lass with a knack for magic, yet no guild to pay for it. How fortunate for her. I was thinking of starting a program for scholars in need. Of course, there will be an examination, but if she truly does have the knack, that should be little trouble. Here, chop for your information. Oh, to be a judge, to bring order and peace to the world, and that just in a morning's work. Oh, to be. How does one become a judge anyways? Yeah, where's the... Is she over here? I forget. Yeah. My husband was a judge. A fine one at that. Filled with righteousness and justice. Our house's pride. The pride, too, of our borough. It was his very own sense of justice that brought his end. To die attempting to save a child's life. A child of a foeman, no less. How like him. Someone wanting to be a judge? Well, whoever they might be, I have advice for them. They seek to be a judge for the sake of justice. No good will come of it. Please tell him this. Tell him that above all else, his family must come first. Peace is a frail bloom that grows only in the soil of a family's love. My beau and I have been working together of late. We've got quite a stack of chops to show for our troubles, too. A full 8 and 20 of them. I must tell him the good news. Here in the capital, if you take pride in your work and do right by your customers, anyone can make a decent living. Now, your regular chops are made of pine, but the nobles use chops of sandal. Sweet-smelling things, those. My girlfriend and I will get them someday. What's that? 8 and 20 chops already? That's a fine amount to be sure, but tell her this. Try to float up to High Garden and you'll drift off with the clouds. First get firm footing down here, then build your way up, brick by brick. That's actually like solid advice for life. Good, what is it? Good finances aren't built in a day, you know? It's just building it brick by brick. Every single day. Forever. Until you don't. Because then you're good, yeah. Right? Do I have anyone else to... I don't know if there's anyone else. Oh wait, it's this lady. No, wait, no, they talked. I think that's everyone. Oh wait, no. I came here all the way from Giza Plains to make some trinket, but I got separated from my guide on the road and couldn't find the client. There's no way I'll make it back home on my own. Here I thought my fortunes were looking up. How's my woman going to steam about this? Where's that lady? Huh. I know I talked to someone. It does seem a little bit crazy that, like, we just can't seem to get ahead here. Man from Giza. Daughter-in-law. I'm missing something critical. Oh, there it is. Yeah. My dear husband's mother has asked for a trinket from Giza Plains. She's ever so particular, though, so I'm having a Giza craftsman come here. Speaking of which, you should be here by now. My good husband's mother is a fickle woman. I do hope she does not see fit to change her mind. I came here all the way from Giza Plains to make some trinket, but I got separated from my guide on the road and couldn't find the client. There's no way I'll make it back home on my own. Here I thought my fortunes were looking up. Is my woman going to steam about this? So the client was looking for me as well now. That's a relief. I'm ready to get this here job done and get me home to my woman. So blinded by guilt was I didn't even think to look at a map. Who knew Archades was so far away? That reminds me. They gave me this chop as retainer, but I have no need of the thing. Here. Cool. Now, I do believe that's everything, so I would like to talk to them to see how they feel about it. You know, life. My daughter hates the mummers, I think. I believe they remind her of her father, the poor dear. He left his family to practice the art. Yet I would not have her disparage him, but honor him for his dedication. 'Tis a dream, I know. Now, when you hear of someone lonely on the road, you might imagine pangs of solitude striking by night, but this is not the case. Solitude on the road comes when surrounded by other travelers, a fear that you are not who you think you are, who you thought you were. For these special examinations, I'd been considering an interview of sorts and a simple recital. I've prepared a basic floating magic for the latter. I hope to uncover many youths of potential who might formerly have passed by unnoticed. I used to think that only the Empire's justice could bring peace and order to the land. Perhaps I was in error. This sure is a big city, far cry from Giza. I knew I should have brought my woman along. Now is when we keep our noses to the grindstone and work an honest day. When we've more chops than we know what to do with, we'll get respect. And my girl, my dear sweet lass, she's been by my side through feast and famine. I'll make her happy one day. You'll see. A traveling mummer taught me this one. Used to live here in the city, so he said. There's a swindler out there who looks like me. People are going to think I'm the swindler. I'm the one who's being swindled, I say. I've summoned a trinket crafter from faraway Giza to fashion something for my husband's mother, but by the time he'd arrived, she'd lost interest. Now she wants a shawl spun from Vieira Damask, no less. You see what I must endure? Yeah, I could understand that. The Vieira don't really talk to people, so good luck with that. Oh, they saw it. They spotted the knack. I've been given permission to take a special examination for entry to the Academy of Magics. A poor way from the old town, and that illustrious institute. First, I'll need a magic to calm my nerves for that test. We've worked our fingers to the bone for these chops, but there's still so much to be done. I'm just grateful I'm not doing it alone. We speak of judges, but if one man judges another, is this justice? Thus my husband sought to prevent rather than punish wrongdoing. I'm giving the missus quite the present for our anniversary, a necklace. I had to keep it in the back of my wardrobe so as to hide it from her. This city hasn't always been kind to us, but the missus, she's given it her all. If I don't show my appreciation now, when will I? You seem a nice lad. Take care. There's many a cheating swindler in this fine city. You do well to keep an eye out. A child's brain is like to a sea sponge, adrift in knowledge's brine. Squeeze it just so, and 'twill fill it with the richest sort of learning. That's visceral right there. My Reginald is the brightest, and as such he was given naught but the best in tutelage. Why, I'm sure he'll make the academy this year. To think he'll be a grand 33 this coming name day. A feast. There must be a feast. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm still having trouble believing that necklace was to be my anniversary present. No wonder it seems so unfamiliar. What to do, what to do. I'll buy it back. Put it where I found it. Then he can give it to me as though nothing had happened. But how will I afford a gift for him? I suppose if one is to travel widely, one must be properly garbed. Armor, not fashion, my dear. One's partner can make all the difference, too. I despise mummers, the prancing fools, yet, truth be told, I watched in secret, because my mother watched and wept for him, for my father. His act was much the same, you know. So what have I done? I've done Trant, Mulberry. I haven't done Neil Bossy. What am I doing? I'm crying wares for the armorers. Should have a gander if you need aught. When I get enough chops, I'll be riding nigh in one of them cabs, and that'll be the end of all this. I'll be sitting pretty up in eye garden, innit? Have you seen those chaps running pell-mell about the city? Newcomers are always this way, working up a sweat as they claw their way up the ladder. You look to be in much the same situation as was I, long ago. Never fear, you'll get there as I have. Chin up, onwards and upwards, and all that. This guy. What's that? You heard from some bloke who was in my shoes and now he's made some of himself? That's good to hear. I'll get there someday. You look like a newcomer yourself. Ain't got many chops, I bet. I know how it is, you see? Look, I ain't got many myself, but up here, you've gotta look out for each other. So you can one of my chops and I'll see you at the top. Dude, I have like 10 already, dude. I'm killing it. I mean, how many do I even have? I think I have a lot. I guess it doesn't really tell me, does it? A new employee of mine broke an instrument on his first day in the lab. I really want to give him some words of encouragement, but I'm busy. Worry not, I tell him. Such things only cost 1,000,000 gil or so. Your concern should be the bigger picture, not such trifling details. I want him to know I'm on his side, you see? I've made a mistake, a horrible mistake. I fear my superior is vexed, quite vexed. That instrument I dropped, oh dear. A message from my superior? Oh my. I'll wager she's just about had enough of me. Let's see. Only costs 1,000,000 gil or so? 1,000,000? It costs that much? She doesn't want me to pay for it. Please, no. Your concern should be the bigger picture. I'll admit, I'm weak at the finer points, but she doesn't mean to end my research, does she? Not such trifling details. Trifling? Is that what I am? Trifling? I'm finished. That's what I am. I would be a fool to think otherwise. And to say such things through another. If she's to chastise me, I'd have her do it to my face. My thanks. A chop for your trouble. I may not look it, but I'm quite athletic, you know. My family boasts a grand line of gamesmen, known for our skill at work as well as the games. That said, my brother is overly fond of dusty old tomes. He spends most of his time with his nose in one. Why, do you know what he told me? He said, "Good sister, on the morrow I shall go to the laboratory and become a researcher." He'll become as stiff and sedentary as a researcher? For many years I researched but one thing, And when I retired, my daughter agreed to continue my work. How happy she made me. With the research, it knows no end. Someday I hope to see my daughter marry, bear children, but still this great work will not be done. Yet it is not in vain, no. Even though the pace may be slow, progress is being made. Such is the many-splendored thing that is scientific inquiry. I don't think this relates. I heeded my father's wishes and became a researcher at a laboratory, but my colleague's behavior has proven to be rather odd. No. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. I heeded my father's wishes and became a researcher at a laboratory, but my colleague's behavior has proven to be rather odd. I've thought on this a great deal, and I've decided it's time to leave. Yet my father was so happy, I haven't had the heart to tell him. Truth be told, our research project finished just the other day. It was quite a breakthrough. My father worked on it for tens of years. All those years without progress. Then I join, and within months it's done, and I still want to leave. However will I explain this to my father? What's this? My daughter? No, surely not. My daughter would never say such things. Case of mistaken identity, perhaps? What? The research complete? How many years did I toil, finding nothing? That's my girl. Well, if she's finished her work, why stay any longer? Boy, a chop for bringing me this news. I'm terribly sorry, darling. Oh, no, I don't. The path to stardom is a difficult one, to be sure. To dance, to sing, all of this takes great effort. And of course you must know how to act. Imagine setting the stage aflame with but a word. I would be that sort of star. And I would ask advice of a mentor, but what to ask? She's literally right here. I'm terribly sorry, darling, but I've given up the stage. No more autographs, please. Very well, you may shake my hand if you must. Oh, you didn't want... Pardon me. I assumed. I was an actress, you see, quite famous in my day. I mistook you for an enthusiast. My apologies. The path to becoming a star. I don't believe such a thing exists, darling. At least it's not the sort of thing one can search for and hope to find. One must work, and watch others at work. One cannot sit about whiling away the hours that pretend. Only through experience do you learn. I wore many guises in my working life. Armory clerk, airship attendant, personal secretary, headhunter, dread pirate, even the false queen of a lost land. Quite dangerous, that last one. Not recommended. I learned much, and my acting was enriched by it. Yet when it no longer felt true, I had to leave. I have a splendid idea. I shall write a novella of my adventures. That is one thing I've yet to do. Take this, darling, for your excellent advice. Alright, let's do the gamesman again. Ah! I'm trapped! Tis a good thing to work up a sweat. Oh, yeah, sure. I've recently begun work at a laboratory. 'Tis like heaven for me. Plenty to read, and no one telling me I ought to do otherwise. Why, the laboratory library is the envy of every student in the academy. There's no greater store of obscure texts anywhere in Ebelise. My sister seems overly concerned with my health. She should know I get proper exercise at least an hour daily in the games room at the laboratory. Unusual for a laboratory man, I know. I suppose it's in the blood, but sport, or rather the exercise involved, is the subject of my research. You see, I'm jolly interested in how the body's energy might be regulated to lend strength to those muscles most taxed by a given action. I thank you for your kindness in relaying my dear sister's concern. Here, this should serve you in good stead during your time in Archades. The enterprise at which I'm employed has fallen on hard times. This month they halved my wages. Halved. Things were going so well. How am I to tell my wife? I don't have the courage to face her. I can't go home like this. I yearn for some new jewelry, and one ring in particular, a rare blue diamond. I saw it just yesterday, yet we can ill afford such luxury. And you never know when we might need extra for an emergency. Still, my husband's enterprise has done well. I'm sure we'll soon have a gill enough. His wages? Halved? What ill tidings are these? And what of my blue diamond? Why, to afford it now, there's not but my dowry purse to... Oh. Now there's a thought. I can't believe it never occurred to me before. I'm more than enough gill to buy a piffling diamond. A fine idea. My thanks. I don't... Okay. I don't love that. I think that's everyone here, right? My good sister is quite fond of running. Why, she's a regular participant in the annual Balfenheim Dash. My husband's wages are much diminished, and I fear there will be little extravagance in our future. So now's the perfect time to spend. This information will, of course, remain strictly between you and I. I didn't think I'd ever get nowhere when I first come here, but me mates helped me out, and that's how I'll make it to the top together. There's a new researcher in the laboratory, and well, he seems frightened of me for some reason. I've never been cross with him, have I? Tis a good thing to work up a sweat. Reminds me of when I was a youth, freshly come to the capital. Though the enterprise at which I toil will be failing, and my wages cut by half, my wife merely smiled. Why, I do believe she still loves me, and I her. My brother is a researcher at a laboratory, quite against my wishes. I feared he'd become slothful, but now I hear there's a games room in the lab. There are more would-be stars in this city than real ones in the night sky, yet I wish her all the best, and myself as well, in our new careers. 'Tis a cruel world, this. I'll never take research lightly again. A real laboratory is a far cry from the safety of the academy. I'm finished. The secrets of boot rot revealed at long last. No longer need soldier and citizen scratch in vain at their feet. This is truly a momentous day. Our research project was a success. Oh, we were researching, well, there's really no pretty way of saying it, is there? We researched boot rot. I come from a family of researchers, and our family has long been afflicted by boot rot, the itching, and the redness, and your pardon. My father was very pleased with our results. To become a star takes experience. My mentor told me that the study of acting is a study of life. That's why I've decided to find a proper job. Okay then. You don't know who I am? The only philosopher of cuisine recognized by the Senate, that's who. And I must confess I'm troubled of late. You see, in my profession one eats rather a lot of excellent food. But with too much excellence, one forgets to enjoy it. I long to be stimulated. Somewhere, there must be a revolutionary dish, made from naught but the best ingredients, by no one but the best chef in Archades. Oh, I got you the dish. I do so love to cook. Why, the other day I held an impromptu party at my house and fed a new dish of mine to my closest acquaintances. Why, they told me 'twas a taste to tantalize the tongue of a philosopher of cuisine. Yet their faces were sour as old Nana cheese. My new dish was terrible, I'm sure of it. I've invited them back, of course, to no reply. Could it truly have been so bad? A revolutionary dish? Well, I suppose one could call my new creation that. I'd be happy to give some to this gentleman you speak of. I used a base of pureed tomatoes, you see, adding to that several fish bones, upon which I poured a rich caramel sauce. What the? What? Truth be told, I had quite a bit left over, and was wondering what to do with it. Here, take this chop and thanks, unless you'd like some food. I've been writing novels in between trips, each one I think to make a moving tale of tragic love, the sort that make grown men weep rivers. But when I sit down to read what I've written, I find it quite happy, droll even. Why can I not write something truly miserable? I'm sorry, I cannot help myself. I'm in love. With whom? 'Tis a secret. Why, I've not told even him. Why not? Well, I wrote a letter, an epistle to love, and I'll not confess my love until that letter finds its way back to my hand. Romantic, no? Alright then. Hello there. You haven't dropped a letter, have you? You see, I found one in the street and I couldn't help but read it. It said, "This is an epistle to love. Freely have I released it. Should it return to me, then shall my love be made true." And that was all. Odd, wouldn't you agree? I do wonder what it all means. I feared for a moment that were I to find the writer, I would be propositioned on the spot. A groundless fear, but caution never hurts. How did you know of that letter? Wait, does this mean my love is not to be? You've not come to return my letter? My, how foolish I must have seemed. I'm so sorry. So he did pick up my letter. How do I know who it was? Because I placed it in such a way that he would see it first, of course, being sure to stay out of sight. Many thanks for coming to tell me. Nice to know fate has triumphed once more. Here, a chop. Headhunters employ gambits during battle to aid their judgment, correct? Now what I've been pondering is, what about a gambit for the market? I know gambits can go awry if you don't keep an eye on them, but think of the coin you can make. Gill, gill, and more gill. That's worth any risk. I gotta find the lazy profiteer. Or the match for him, I should say. Wait, what? My good husband works at Dracula Laboratory. And while I shouldn't say this, but he works on something so secret that he can't even tell me. Now, he's not the giving type, my husband, but just the other day he gave me the most unusual gift, a card. I've taken to carrying it around with me, and it's quite odd, but I feel the strangest urge to spend my gill at the Raffle House or on stock notes. Do you think perhaps that this card might be one of these gambits? In truth, I find it quite unsettling, and I was contemplating getting rid of it. Yet it was a gift from my husband. I suppose I couldn't just give it away. Not even sure what it truly is. I thank you for your story. However, here a chop. May it serve you in good stead. Have you been to the requisite shop? I must say they've done a splendid job of broadening their inventory of late. Quite a lot on the shelves. I've just remembered. My sister's been looking for a certain thing, and last I visited, they had just what she wants. Now, where could she be? Wait, what? Do you know the Tarot? I'm a reader here in town. I don't know if this is it, but you might think a modern city would have small use for such things, yet I feel just the opposite. And indeed, my prediction was correct. Yet another unforeseen problem has shown itself in the cards. My readings reveal only tragedy. No, that's not. Yeah. I had thought to vacation in Bujerba, you see, but I run a small enterprise and just haven't been able to find the time. To my good fortune, I was recently permitted to go on leave. Straight away, I went to reserve a ticket, and to my misfortune, the tour was full. Oh, there it is, yeah. I've been waiting for an item I've wanted for such a long time. The proprietor said she'd order one straight away, but that was over a month ago. I've my brother keeping an eye out for me, but he's not one to remember such things. Oh well, I suppose I shall have to make do without. Really? So he did remember. Well, I must go to the store before someone else buys it. Thank you for the tip. Here, a chop. There's a lot of chops to be had. Fresh vegetables. Get your fresh vegetables. Why, yes, they're all farm grown. None of those magic greens here. All natural, all delicious. Of course, people used to scoff at my greens, but the taste is undeniable. I have so many loyal customers now. I'm rather overtaxed. Oh, and I've run out of ears, too. Pardon? Why, ears of corn, of course. Wherever has my associate gone? We can't keep customers waiting. Me? I've been running all about town trying to sell enough greens to please me partner. She wants to build a farm out in Cheetah, you see? What was she saying she'd run out of again? Noses of something? Nah, that weren't it. Huh? No time for pondering. Gotta sell, sell, sell. Ears of corn. That was it. Hang about, remember seeing an empty corn bin at the storehouse. She's probably forgotten there's none left. Making a fair few gil is all well and good, but when you get too busy, you start forgetting stuff. Here's a chop anyway. Thanks for reminding me. Where's the tarot card reader? Tours of the aerial gardens in Bujerba are quite popular these days. Why, just a short while ago I had to turn someone away from a full tour. Wouldn't you know that the next moment we had a cancellation. Pity that poor lady did so want to go. She must still be nearby. It's not the Bujerban lady, is it? Oh, I guess it is, yeah. I feel like when it says Bujerban lady, I feel like it means she's from Bujerba. You don't normally take a tour of like where you live, but I had thought to vacation in Bujerba, you see, but I run a small enterprise and just haven't been able to find the time. To my good fortune, I was recently permitted to go on leave. Straight away, I went to reserve a ticket and, to my misfortune, the tour was full. What's that? A cancellation? Wonderful! My gratitude for coming to tell me. Every good deed deserves a chop. 'Tis custom. Here's yours. I think it's just tarot card reader left, right? I think so. Do you know the tarot? I'm a reader here in town. You might think a modern city would have small use for such things, yet I feel just the opposite. And indeed, my prediction was correct. Yet another unforeseen problem has shown itself in the cards. My readings reveal only tragedy. That is to say, whenever I deal the cards for someone, they meet with horrible ill luck, almost as if my readings themselves beckon misfortune. I've been writing novels in between trips, each one I think to make a moving tale of tragic love, the sort that make grown men weep rivers. But when I sit down to read what I've written, I find it quite happy, droll even. Why can I not write something truly miserable? A fortune teller that sees only misfortune. Why, of course, I cannot write what I don't know, after all, and my wife has been such a happy one. I have a mind to visit this reader of the cards and see just what tragedy lies in store for me. My thanks to you. A chop for your advice. I think that's it. I think that's all the chops, right? At least for here. I have spent long years in the pursuit of excellence in cuisine. Have eaten food so rich and so sublime as to be well nigh inedible. But that chef, what is that dish she made? 'Tis like food from another world. Aromas such as I have never known. Taste to bring rapturous tears to my eyes. Ah, that tingle upon my tongue. That stab at the throat. Tingle's caramel, stab, probably the fish bones. Promising both pleasure and pain. Dude, this guy's kinky. That pointed wedging between the teeth. I expected the best and received the beyond. 'Twas that powdery blue garnish she used, I'm sure of it. Could it be some new uncharted spice? Oh, my head rings still with the flavor. I can imagine. I've heard of artifacts that aid in decision making. Gambits, were they? Still, it does not do to rely entirely on such aid. One must think for oneself. The requisite shop finally has what my sister wanted. Why, I'd suppose she's in there shopping to her heart's content as we speak. Now is the time to do an honest day work for an honest day's wage. Once we build that farm out in Tachita, we can hire others to do the work for us. True. Of course, a happy life is better than one spent in sadness, but without misery can we truly appreciate our good fortune? Culinary creations are oft eaten fresh, but it is true that time can be the best chef. One must let one's sauces breathe after all. Of course, leave a dish too long and that curious blue powder grows atop it. Oh, but it's harmless enough, I'm sure. I offered to tell someone of their misfortunes, and they accepted quite gladly. It proves the old adage, it takes all sorts. Would you like your misfortune told for free? Oh yeah. Oh ho! Not afraid of the future, then tell it I shall. Yes. No. Ooh, ah. Ah. An answer reveals itself, yet its meaning is obscure to me. I see nothing in Trant. I see nothing in Mulberry. I see nothing in Rihanna. I see nothing in Neil Bassi. Well, I do hope that was of assistance to you. I'm sure many trials await in your future, but do face them with hope. It could always be worse. So yeah, we've done them all. Yeah, she'll tell you if you have things left over. It's not the worst way to use fortune telling. My father was born in Bujerba, actually. Always had a mind to go there to see her arcs of shining crystal, and now I shall. When will it return to me? When? Has my epistle to love gone unread? Unheard? Unloved? Yeah, I do like, fortune telling is like my favorite thing, and like one of my favorite things in games. This is kind of off, I'll finish this, but travel to Bujerba is in vogue in the city of late. We have tours booked months in advance, and only rarely does anyone cancel. I wouldn't think a store without proper inventory could survive long here in the capital. Word of a mouth travels fast. Faster still when it's bad. If I should sell enough fresh greens, why, I might just be able to build that farm in Tachita. No whole years in the storehouse either. If I had a gambit to tell me what to buy and what to sell, but I know that I must make the final decision. Gambit or no, back to business. But yeah. There's a game, though, called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And pretty early on, you talk with a character who's like a fortune teller. And it's a little bit of a spoiler, but they basically tell you the entire plot of the game. And I like that kind of, like, goofiness, right? Like, it's just kind of cool, right? For them to be like, you know, like, it was some, like, what was, like, they just say ominous stuff, like, it was like the lone wolf, the man on the couch, the pirate, like, trust them, trust no others, like, stuff like that, you know? And then, like, you know, don't open it, and, like, it's really cool. I don't know, it might be corny, I just like stuff like that. I don't know if any Final Fantasy game has really done that, you know? Like, it's the entire plot, yeah. They hint at it, but, you know. Alright, well, that completes our Pine Chop Bonanza, basically. Yeah, we're gonna, when we come back, we will, we'll head to, wherever this little lift thing takes us, and go from there. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you next time.